Kyle, you've rolled a nat 20 on your dice. What do you want to do with your turn?
I go up the ladder. Wait, no, that sends me down the snake.
You fool, that triggered my trap card. Now I activate Pot of Greed, and that lets me draw 2 cards from my deck.
That's not how you play Monopoly. It says here, you owe me $200 in rent, actually.
Yahtzee!
Avalanche!
Tetsuo! Kaneda!
Onii-chan?
It's over 9,000! Nani?
Configure the language logic interface for Japanese.
Kawaii-Fi.
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 Kawaii-Fi Radio!
Konnichiwa and welcome. You're tuned into Kawaii-Fi Radio, the podcast we dive in the world of anime and manga every fortnight. I'm Kyle, and joining me are my co-hosts Loz and Aaron. And where is Kenny? Truth be told, he's working on our next big episode, which we'll talk about more a bit shortly. But hi, guys!
Hi!
I feel a little like I've lost something. It might be my volume a little bit. No, it's just my headphones. They're old and dying.
You've lost Kenny, and he's a part of all of us.
It'll never be the same without him.
Yes,
Starting the
it's
Kenny
a hole
count
in my
again.
heart.
We're starting the Kenny count. It was up to 1. So Kenny,
Damn it, we've been through this.
We've been through this.
For those who forgot, this is Kyle keeps calling Aaron Kenny. And keeps doing, and they're actually different people. So
they are very different people.
So
now
we count how many times he's done it, and I guess that's how many times Aaron gets to punch Kyle. I guess maybe. I'm just just saying.
Okay, now before we do get started, I do have to make a official Kawaii-Fi statement. This is very
the
important.
boss is
now.
talking.
Legal reasons?
This is for legal reasons, apparently. Despite our best intentions, last episode it appears we made a horrible mistake. More correctly, I made a horrible mistake.
Why?
Now, you may recall we were talking about how a dictionary is created and how words are chosen.
Uh-huh.
And during this discussion, Farah brought up a word which I thought was made up, but it turns out is an actual word and in the Urban Dictionary.
Is this the poggers thing?
That's right. We somewhat claimed the word poggers, which I now understand is a Twitch reference, and we at Kawaii-Fi would like to apologise to the word's original creator for this horrible misunderstanding. So we're really sorry, PewDiePie. No, it's not PewDiePie.
It's not actually, is it?
It's not.
Because
It's all
I
about poggers?
don't care.
Does that mean you don't know about the PogChamp?
I have no idea. I had no idea what PogChamp is. I've now been educated, so
Look.
showing my age here clearly.
Yeah, we're old people.
Well, yeah.
my sweet little spring song.
Hey, can I just tag onto that? I didn't tell you guys about this before, but I did end up telling some of my new students at the new school I'm at that I'm on an anime podcast. And then I eventually did tell them the name because I was like, whatever, go listen. It's PG, it's fine. So, yeah, and they keep asking me questions like, oh, miss, have you seen Naruto? Or have you seen Death Note? And I'm like, okay, guys, how old are you? And what year were you born in? They're like, they're year 7s. So they were born in 2007.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, Death Note came out in 2006.
This anime is older than you.
When I was in high school. So, yes, I have seen Death Note. Duh. Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
Well,
Not
I
a
mean,
pleb.
they're testing your weeb credential. They're testing if you are of an otaku to be respected or reviled.
I am the queen otaku, and I will be addressed as such. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All weebs deserve respect.
Yes,
Yeah.
all weebs deserve respect.
Hashtag not all weebs.
Oh, no. Oh.
Anyway,
Okay,
moving
moving
on.
along from political issues of any shape, form, let us talk about what we're doing this episode. So we are talking about board games and card games on motorcycles and so on.
Child card games? Maybe some sort of children's
Card
card
games that has, a global following. We'll get to that.
The king of games.
Yes, we'll get to the king of gaming very shortly. But before we do that, we've got to talk about what's airing at the moment. And we want to start off in an area which we haven't touched on very much this season because it took a while of us to jump on board and for things to ramp up. And that's Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes, it's so good. I'm really enjoying it. Now, I kind of have a fear of a lot of eyes. And so when I was watching this, I was like, he does have more than 2 eyes on his face, the main character, Itadori. And I was like, I don't know if I'd be okay with this. But it turns out I am, and I can push past it because the characters are cool and I really like the premise of the story. It's very shonen tropey, so kind of your classic shonen tropes. But you know what? He does it well, and it's cool.
So are you talking about like trypophobia?
Yeah, do not show me any pictures of the Google search.
I'm not going to show you the Google search.
Yes, absolutely.
Is this smart to talk about since your students are starting to listen?
Yikes. Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Well, I'm just going to have to say that whenever we talk about trypophobia, we're going to have to... No. To the students, please behave, please behave.
Oh, they won't.
Yes. And, you know, I'm sure there's going to be a girl sitting in the back of your class going...
Oh, no.
And you're going to be in trouble.
They're going to use it against me. Ah, well. But I can push past for this because it's sick.
Can.
And it's cool demon fighting and...
Now,
the main chick is awesome.
I am a bit behind Jujutsu Kaisen. In fact, I'm so behind I haven't started it.
That's behind.
Kyle!
I know. I am a terrible otaku and a terrible host.
Failure.
But Jujutsu Kaisen, it's not a Crunchyroll original technically, is it?
No, it's a manga.
It's a manga.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Crunchyroll originals do come from mangas, and so on.
True.
But this is something that Crunchyroll has really been pushing despite it not being an in-house production.
I can see why. Like, it's done really beautifully. The storytelling's really good. The world building is amazing. And just the characters are so eye-catching.
Yeah, absolutely. I think something else as well, it is going off in Japan.
Yeah.
Like, the manga has just risen through the ranks, like, super, super quickly, like, way up those bestseller charts. And I think because it's now so popular in Japan, like, Crunchyroll's like, okay, this is the next big thing, trying to, like, capitalize on that, maybe.
Is this the next Demon Slayer type franchise? Is it big enough?
Yeah.
Do you think it could be in that sort of ballpark?
Maybe. I think like it's got to bring something new to the party, and at the moment, as much as it does have a lot of cool things going for it, nothing is particularly new. Like it's drawing on a few different tropes, like school club trope, supernatural fantasy, fighting demons trope, kind of bit yokai lore and stuff, but it doesn't have something
sort
completely
of like
new.
a hybrid, if I understand right, almost a hybrid between sort of a Naruto style story with Bleach elements.
And
No,
more
not exactly, but
with like
roughly.
yokai hunting at school kind
Okay,
of thing.
cool.
So
Yeah.
like, wouldn't like Inspector like
oh yeah, Inspector
kind of,
yeah,
not
but
Inspector
not
at all.
okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Well, let's talk. Let's go from spooky and various phobias to. Is there a technical term for being afraid of being eaten by a bear?
There's a name for a fear for everything.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
there probably
Google
is.
this.
So we're going to talk. We're talking Kuma Cubed, which is Kuma Bear.
It's the best name.
Which, to be honest, I was, and you know this, Aaron. I was so just not sold on this at the beginning of the season, and it's one of the few ones I regularly watch.
So just by the way, like arachnophobia is the fear of bears. Anyway,
Wow.
please continue your discussion.
Yeah. As you know, I have arachnophobia. And
did not know that.
No.
Oh, okay.
I think everyone has a fear of being eaten by a bear. But as you were aware, I wasn't too keen on this. I thought particularly the design of the bears kind of unnerved me a little bit.
Yeah, look, I was like isekai in a video game, but it's kind of like kawaii cute bears. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Straight up. I kind of looked at that and I was like, this is probably not going to be for me.
Except...
It's
Unless-
kawaii, and this is Kawaii-Fi.
Oh, there it is.
It's very cute, and we very much liked it.
Yes, we love it.
I mean, speaking for myself and Aaron, I think we're both. I think I'm like an episode behind you or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. And it's one of the ones. Every time it comes up, I'm just so excited.
Okay, but you were just saying before when we were looking at the promo art that you really don't like the bears because they look a bit uncanny valley.
They still kind of.
They're like Desu, Doki Doki, giant-eyed,
Eyes.
cute
Isn't
bears.
that the charm in anime, though? Like, everything's got those crazy big eyes.
Yeah, but they look a bit weird on the bears with the 4 legs as opposed to like teddy bear kind of
kind
bears.
of humanizes them?
I was going to say, is there a phobia of bears
With
which
big
have
eyes?
Big eyes. Like, is that too
Yes.
specific to have a phobia?
I mean, it could probably combine 2 phobias.
I know she's
there.
googling it.
Like, you could have the phobia of big eyes and the phobia of bears. But I
Together.
don't think there's specifically one together.
No.
Unless you merge the names and come up with a new one.
Okay.
No, it
so
doesn't look like it.
What about let's go Greek.
Kawaii arachnophobia.
You're close.
TM,
It was
TM, TM, me.
Kawaii octula Acryophobia.
I like how you had a little like French kind of
little
twist
French,
on that. It's a
pirouette
fancy.
there. Yeah.
The little conductor waving his hands.
But yes, the bears still freak me out beyond belief, but the main characters are hilarious and the premise is ridiculous because you think, oh, it's in a game world, no one would care that she's wearing a bear outfit. No, everyone points out, why are you wearing a bear outfit? It becomes a running gag because every episode, 2 or 3 people will be like, why is she wearing a bear outfit?
We can't take her seriously.
Yeah, and
then, is it like, does it actually become old, like a running gag, or is it actually always funny?
It's always funny because the people you think would be unflappable are bothered by it, which is amazing.
Okay, that's fair.
And because it's only a few times and it's very minor, it's not like they make a 10-minute speech about it.
Yeah, so it's not like, this is the joke, everyone, come and see.
It's not like it's the same character saying it. It's just like if a new character is introduced, they're just like,
Kuma?
Yeah, and it's really funny because people just kind of go, no, don't ask.
Well, I feel like that'd be a natural reaction to running into somebody like that as well. Like, you'd be like, why are you wearing a bear outfit?
Would you? Because I feel like sometimes you just see people walking around, the per CBD and cosplay, and they got cat ears on, you're like, there they are, and they're just going about their day.
Yeah.
And that's
but cosplay is normal in our world, whereas I don't think it's necessarily normal in medieval.
All right, you got me on that one.
But yes, so look, Kuma Bear, Kuma Cubed is amazing fun. If you're looking for a slice of life-esque fantasy style isekai show, I know that's a very specific combination there, but it's worth checking out, I think.
It's like a really cute flavor palette, just like if you've watched too much serious dark stuff, like I know there's a lot this season. It's nice to just have that little moment where everything's cute and nice and just going really well for once.
Yeah.
Is it like Yaishike, where it's one of those like made to be chill kind of soft things like Natsume's Book of Friends, for example?
Or like Eurocamp.
Yeah, like Eurocamp.
It's sort of...
There's still big fights, but like they're not hard.
And I feel like something big is going to happen at the end if the OP is any indication of the plot progression.
So there can actually be something sort of plot developing there as opposed to just cute girl doing cute things, but with bears this time, I guess.
Well, no, it's cute girl doing cute things, but also occasionally going out and clearing the wood of wolves and bringing them back in a giant pile, which is hilarious.
Okay.
She's
cool.
unbearably cute.
Okay, that's enough. All right, we're moving on. I'm shuffling papers and we're going to move on.
The program. Hey. Let's talk about Fate Stay Night. Let's go dark and gritty. Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel 3 just hit cinemas here in Australia. Aaron, you've been and seen it.
Yes, I have.
How do you feel?
Wow. Okay, so if you've seen the previous Heaven's Feel movies, you know that this is like the worst timeline. This is like the dark route where it's just like everything that could go wrong is going wrong. This movie, it ties it all up. Like, it's the end of this route essentially, because each fate telling is a different route of the story. And a
different branch of a forever branching tree.
Like
it's essentially a dating sim, but you choose a different girl each time.
Yeah. Okay, so... Like, Carl, you've been watching original Higurashi, so you can actually understand the new Higurashi. Yeah. It's kind of like that.
So it's the same sort of thing with the parallel timelines.
Yeah.
And that's essentially, it's a branching story, and they're taking the timeline for each girl.
Yeah.
Sorry, not timeline, storyline for each girl.
Well, kind of, because they're all, like, they're both based on that light novel where you would pick a route, a story route, a character route. So, yeah, I mean, kind of. Yeah.
And basically, it's a good thing for fans as well, because if you were rooting for a specific servant and they didn't win the Holy Grail War, there's a chance they might win it in another telling.
Okay.
Yeah, so like this one was really good. The music was really good. The fights were really well composed. There was a lot of hype in it. And the ending, while beautiful, left me a little confused because there were a lot of loose ends.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like the Fate I've heard of.
No, it's definitely not Fate Stay Night. No.
Look.
Got him. And it is, and I'm going to say it wrong because I try and remember every time. Ufotable? No.
Ufotable.
Thank you. Yeah. That one.
Ufotable.
It's the good stuff.
It's the good stuff.
It's the good animation stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I swear, like, every fate telling, there's just one beautiful saber fight guaranteed.
I think it's in their contract that must have beautiful saber at some point.
Now, I need to ask this, and this is going to show my ignorance to the Fate franchise. Is saber in every rendition of Fate, or is it only in the Fate Stay Night
Yeah, it does
universe.
definitely show how little you know. Even I know that. Gosh.
Every Fate telling has the 7 classes. Very rarely there is an 8th.
Oh, okay. So Saber is the class, not the person.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's good. Shows what I know.
Well,
Well, I
if
feel
you'd
slightly
like to
better
know,
now.
the person is King Arthur.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
Mordred, or like various
Mordred's
other
only
ones.
in Apocrypha.
Well, yeah, I'm saying like if you,
But
it's still
so
Saber
the
class,
Fate
but
Stay
yeah.
Night franchise, Fate Stay Night,
Yep.
the Stay Night part of Fate.
the
So
inverted
the main
commas
3
original.
stories.
Yep. That is all based on the Holy Grail War, and Fate Grand Order is not based on the Holy Grail War.
All of them are based on the Holy Grail War. Fate Grand Order is a game, and it's based on going to specific timelines to correct things
Basically
that have gone
jumping
wrong.
into those timelines.
Yeah.
almost.
Oh, okay.
So they're all alternate Holy Grail wars.
Yes.
Oh, in different times and places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
cool.
you have to go and fix what's going wrong with them, and typically you just yoink the grail at the end of it.
Have we
anyway.
actually just made sense of the whole Fate franchise?
We did everyone.
The Fate franchise is basically a string of Holy Grail wars for the Holy Grail,
Yes.
Yeah.
and set in different timelines with
Yes.
different characters depending on what route is taken,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then they're not interlinked, correct?
Well, Fate Zero leads to the main Fate 3,
Yeah.
which is Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works, and Heaven's Feel.
Yep.
But
and
other
is
than
Fate
that,
Zero
none
a
of them...
Holy Grail war as well?
Yes.
So that's like
It's a
the original
prequel.
Holy Grail war, which
Not the
then-
original.
No, it's
Never mind.
one of the last
I spoke
ones.
too soon.
Well,
we
because,
haven't figured out
like,
Fate. We'll figure
Babylonia
it
is
out.
like in
I'll
Babylon
sit you down
times.
sometime and explain it. I'll get a whiteboard and markers and
It'll be
fun
like
day.
that meme where the guy's got all the red string and he's trying
Oh,
to.
from It's Always Sunny?
That's the
Yeah,
one.
Yep.
yeah, that's basically me right now. So look,
that,
let's talk
Photoshop
about
Aaron
this
onto it.
episode. Now, we are talking about, well, we're rounding out our 2020 season with some fun. This is our last normal episode for the year. We still do have one more episode coming. We're heading down to the local game shop, touring the facilities, picking up fancy new board games to play with the family over the festive season. This episode is all about card games and board game anime, and by Hestia, there are a lot of them.
There are.
It's bananas.
It's amazing.
Cuckoo bananas. Also, if you are new to the show, first and foremost, welcome. It's great to have you on board, and might I say, you look mighty cool in that get-up today.
Hi, Loz's students.
Yes.
my
We'd
goodness.
love it if you consider hitting that subscribe button and enjoy the Kawaii-Fi community. You can find us across many platforms of your choice. So if you are on YouTube and you're not keen, haven't got Red, you can jump over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and vice versa. If you want a more visual version, jump on YouTube. We'd love for you to be in our pocket for your next day off, because that means we can keep you company, give you some laughter, hear me try and
Give you
figure
the
out
warm
the Fate
fuzzies.
franchise
The
stuff.
anime recommendations that you crave.
And the Kenny count.
And the Kenny Count. And also, our next episode is our annual Kawaii-Fi Anime Awards. So
It's
it's
a
the
big
perfect
one.
time to jump on board, to be honest. And to you, our amazing listeners, please smash that like button. It turns out it actually does a lot in pretty much every single platform's algorithm. So, hit the button and all that. I can't believe I'm doing
a little
this.
favor, please. Pretty please.
I feel bad for myself
Why?
because I feel like I'm shamelessly plugging myself, and it's
That's the whole
Yep.
point. That's what you're supposed
Dude,
to do.
the goal is to sell out.
We are selling ourselves out, and
no.
that's not a problem.
you know what they say? We're going to sell out, but yeah, we apologize.
I apologize for nothing.
There's still plenty to talk about this episode. Stay with us as we bring you the latest anime news.
Making headlines.
Really?
Sort of.
Anime news.
Well, it is time to have a look at what's been going on in the wonderful world of anime and manga news the past fortnight. And we're going to start with something a little surprising.
Not surprising. It's exciting. It's beyond excellent. 2020's been saved.
Well, it's got pretty much every single one of the team excited, especially the ladies. Yuri on Ice,
Potentially.
the movie, Ice Adolescence, has finally dropped the trailer. And that's now streaming. The teaser trailer has been going since, I think, about Thursday.
Look, when you say teaser trailer, it's not even that. It's like
not
a
even
teaser
that.
of a teaser trailer, and
It is.
it's good enough, and I'll take anything at
But
this point.
the reason this is of note is that this previously was only available to see at screening events for the TV show in 2019. No one else knew what this looked like unless you went to those events, and this at least lets us know that the project is still ongoing. People can get excited, they can do things for it, but it's a nice little way to end 2020 by going, hey, we haven't forgot about it.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Mappa. I love you guys. You guys know that I love Mappa. They make all my favorite things. But boy howdy, have they just forgotten to mention Yuri on Ice for such a long time, and they've been making so many other things. Wait. Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen is a Mappa show, for example. And they've just been making all these other things and just forgetting about their main thing.
Well, I mean, they had Great Pretender, which I think all of us have seen now.
I haven't finished it yet. I've got the last bit to go.
Aaron hasn't seen it. We're going to have to rectify that after this episode.
There's always rectifying Aaron. Come on, first it was Ghibli movies, now it's this.
We could add a rectifying Aaron's anime knowledge count onto the board.
But well, Aaron, you are going to get your chance to shine in this episode anyway when we get to it. Because there's plenty to talk about there. We'll get to that in a moment. But the official Twitter account for the film posted this English statement on the film's progress, stating production is still ongoing with the aim of further enriching the film, but the staff have stated they have not yet reached the stage where they can announce the release date. Now,
so 5 years more? I'll
well,
wait.
I mean, if
I can wait.
I was going to say, if we follow the Neon Genesis model, then yeah.
Well, they're building up hype. It's got the 3 exclamation marks for a reason. You've got to build up the hype so you get that Yuri!
It's been 4 years.
It's been 38
nuts.
years.
Literally 83 years. And I think it's a little ridiculous at this point. I understand COVID pushbacks, but there wasn't any word of that at all. If they had said, hey, we do have this and this is a reason, but Mappa was still churning other stuff out.
The reason for the initial delay was that they wanted to further refine the story because they didn't think the animation was up enough to a high enough standard for it to be a feature film. Now, I appreciate that, but if the animation wasn't high enough standard, you could still have shown us a trailer.
Yeah, and also
just a little taste.
It's also weird for me that they say, I understand because they are making it a movie and they do want the movie to be the best it can be. I totally get that.
And it is an original story as well.
Well, sure. Well, the original thing was an original story as well. Mm-hmm. But the original series, if you're watching it week by week, some of the animation wasn't very polished at all because Kubo Sensei was like, we need to get this out. And then they ended up fixing up a lot of it for the Blu-ray DVD release, which is why that took so long to be released.
Yeah.
So I can understand that, but also they've done it before, so I don't know. And anyway,
Mappa's got a bit of a full plate this year, haven't they? Plus with the production delays. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it doesn't mean we don't want it now.
Yes. I'm excited, though. I'm excited.
Now, on the note of excited, I am so hyped for this. We put it on social media. We had several people going, oh, are you interested in this too?
All right. Okay, there's a theme to this episode. And then I'm also very afraid of spiders.
Yeah.
And whether that's because they have multiple eyes, I don't know. But in general, scoochie little spiders.
So
spiders
we're renaming
this
episode
Halloween 2 Electric Boogaloo?
No.
I actually like that a lot. But I was going to say the episode that scares Loz. But we're talking So I'm a Spider, So What?
So what? I don't want to be isekai'd into a spider. It's literally the worst thing I could think of. It's the worst thing I can think of.
I've been reading this manga for quite a few years since it kind of started getting those English translations coming out, and I am obsessed with it. And I'm pretty sure Tyler, one of our fans on Facebook, was just so hyped that we were hyped for it as well.
That's cool.
So this has got new promotional video out. It came out on Friday just gone. Crunchyroll is streaming a English subtitle version of this video on their site so you can see what's going on. January 8 premiere date, and it's also revealed it is a 2-core anime, 24 episodes, 25 episodes.
Back to back.
Back to back.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm a Spider, So What is about a girl who gets reincarnated as a spider along with the rest of her class, but the manga focuses only on her. The light novels it's based on focus on the story of a lot of people.
So they're taking both and kind of squishing them together. Yeah, okay, that's cool.
She is still the main focus of the light novel, but for some reason in the manga they don't really show much of what the humans are doing. So
are they also spiders?
No. So depending on where you were, depending on where they were sort of ranked in the class, if you will, in the class pecking order, depended on what person, type of creature or person they got reincarnated.
Did one get a bird?
I don't know, but I know one of them has been... I don't know, but I think, based on what I've read in the manga, that one of them has been reincarnated as the god of that world.
So someone gets to be a god and someone has to be a spider based on your rankings in class? That sucks.
I'm calling it now. The spider fights god and wins.
That sucks.
Well, yeah. Yes. Why would we start? Why would we? I don't know for sure if that's the thing, but why would we focus on the spider if she didn't have a fighting chance?
Main hero plot armor.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Pretty much. You can probably hear the cat meowing in the
Yeah.
background.
Can we let Liger in?
Podcast Liger cat is let's let him in.
All right.
He's very hungry, even though he's been fed, and he now wants attention. I just see from this side. I just see the little tail go. So now,
Do you want back out?
I'll just look. Yeah, he's in and now he wants to go out again. Classic cat.
We'll leave the door slightly ajar, perhaps would be the best option here. So, Crunchyroll will be streaming this anime as it airs in Japan. Oh, he's been taken away. Goodbye, Liger. When it airs in Japan, I think we need it with heat in here. This will run for two consecutive quarters of next year. Crunchyroll have worldwide streaming rights. It's definitely worth checking out. It's quite funny. There's
The
character
spider's
development.
cute. Okay, I'll admit it. I'll admit the spider's cute. But
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
I'll reluctantly watch this show.
All right.
For
Now,
Tyler only.
For Tyler.
Tyler, our man.
Tyler, our man. Now, let's talk about something we can all get excited for.
Yeah.
My Hero Academia has released a teaser set of 3 images which connect to one another. Now, this teaser image was split across 3 tweets, and it is also split across 3 of their websites, including the anime series website, the anime film Hero Rising website, and the Shonen Jump website listing as well. Now, these 3 images feature Midori.
The sentence that says,
Yes.
he will meet the 3 musketeers, of which it's Bakugo and Midoriya and Todoroki, and they all look so good.
So good.
Oh my god, they got
It's
really
like
cool
almost
outfits.
cyberpunkish.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, the
So
boys
they're all
look
wearing
good.
alternative forms of their armor. It's obviously the design has been based on their traditional UA armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they look fine. But here's the thing. I thought we were done with My Hero films. I thought after the last film he said, well, I've done the big ending style sort of fight I wanted to do. I'm just all right. I won't bother with any more films.
But then they were like, what if we could make more money?
Well,
Yeah, Kyle, you're forgetting what makes the world go round.
more money.
And now sidebar onto that. You pointed out to me that it says WAE on their
WHA.
WHA, and you had a theory for that.
Yes, my theory
their
is
arms.
that stands for World Hero Association.
Yeah, so if you have a bit of a close look at this artwork, it has been uploaded on a few places, such as my anime list. It's also on Anime News Network
yeah.
and on the social medias and all that. If you can, if you open up those, right-click, download the photo and zoom right in on the patches on their shoulder, which have sort of styled almost like firefighter armor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it comes like police force
Like
firefighter
police
It does
thing.
look like
yeah.
it's got the high-vis strips as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you zoom in on that, it does look like a W, not a U.
No, it's definitely a W on Todoroki and Izuku's, so
Yeah.
you can definitely see it's a W.
Yeah.
And that could bring up a whole other thing. And you and I, I'm almost up to date on the manga, but you are up to date.
Yes,
and
I
has
am.
there been any mention of the World Hero Organization?
spoilers,
There
please.
hasn't, but I just realized My Hero Academia, MHA. So what if it's World Hero Academia?
That doesn't make any
Oh.
sense. Like world. Nah.
There's lots of room for interpretation. Like, if you think you've got an idea, why don't you chuck it in the comments
Yeah.
below?
Definitely
True,
do, because we'd love to hear what you guys think.
I do like World Hero Association though.
Yeah,
Really,
same.
that's good.
It
That's a
feels
lot of
like
hype.
they've been called up.
Yeah,
And it's a big moment.
we need we need these 3 teenagers.
Just
yes.
these three random
These
kids.
ones
Yeah,
will
we
save the
believe in
world.
them.
Get in the robot, guys. We can only have the teenagers do the robots.
Launch the Ava!
And there
Oh no,
it
we
is.
started the show again.
Oh, no.
But look, this is looking really interesting. We don't know yet what this is. They've said they've just said it's a teaser. They haven't said it's for a film or that it's for that. But based on where the manga goes, this can't be for the next season of the manga. So it's got to be a new project.
It's got to be a movie. I reckon it's a movie or an OVA series. Wait, also 3 Musketeers. Who's done Fandango?
There is a lot of questions. There is a lot of questions
like
and no
Musketeers
answers.
doesn't feel right to me.
It doesn't. I feel like maybe it's a translation error, like it was the nearest synonym for the word they were looking for.
Well, yeah. Plus, there's also that love relationship between foreign languages where they're like, oh, there's this trope over in the foreign areas. I'll try and grab that and work that.
It's like a party of three that fight crime together. Like, yeah, that's enough. We'll take that from the French.
We'll
Okay,
go
we'll
with
use
that.
that one. Cool. Yeah, maybe.
There are worse choices. And I mean, we do see it even with like OPs and stuff like that. Like, I love, as many of the listeners will know, who, if you've listened to a few episodes, I absolutely adore Lisa as a performing artist. I think she's incredible. But the song Adamatus, which was the opening theme for the most recent Sword Art Online,
Alicization, yes.
Alicization arc, had Shiny Star My Diamond.
Shiny Star My Diamond.
It's
Crazy Diamond.
It's a little bit cringy in English, but
Yeah,
in Japan, they're just like, yeah!
Look, Lisa
So
could say
it
anything
worked.
and I'd
She
still
could.
be happy.
I know, right?
She's incredible.
Please, Lisa, come perform in Perth.
Oh
we would
my
really
God.
like that. Doubt you're
Just
listening.
for us, just a Kawaii-Fi exclusive performance.
Kawaii-Fi Extra, we interview Lisa. Coming never.
No, I would die. I wouldn't be able to meet
I
her.
would.
I'd freak out.
So, look, on the note of freaking out, let's get on to the rest of the freaking news. These are what's been making headlines the past 2 weeks. Demon Slayer the movie Mugen Train has continued its incredible run in cinemas, becoming the 5th biggest film and #1 animated film worldwide of 2020, even before its full international release. The film, which is only released in Japan, Hong Kong and Taiwan so far, has earned over 26 billion yen as of November 25th, staying #1 at the Japanese box office for 6 straight weeks. The film's international release has been delayed in some areas due to the pandemic, with the North American general release now slipping back to February 2021, with some special fan screenings planned in December and January. Viewers in Australia and New Zealand can expect to catch it on screens in late January, early February 2021, as can most of Southeast Asia. As for Europe and the UK, there's been no release information as yet, other than publisher Dynet saying it will release it in Italy soon. Staying with the silver screen, and Kyoto Animation's Violet Evergarden the movie has stayed in the top 10 at the Japanese box office for 10 straight weeks. The film has made 1.9 billion yen over its run so far, and cinemas are now offering 3 short story booklets to cinema goers as part of the celebration. The delayed 4th rebuild of Evangelion film has announced the team have finished its dialogue recordings this week, with the studio eyeing a January 23rd opening in Japan. The film was originally scheduled to open in June after an 8-year wait from the 3rd film of the franchise. Jumping over the East China Sea, Digimon Adventure Last Evolution Kazuna has recently opened in the People's Republic and is on track to earn 10 times more in the country than it did in Japan. The film first released in February 2020 in Japanese cinemas and brings to an end the original 1999 Digimon anime story. And this year's surfing anime film trilogy, Wave, is being turned into a TV series version, expected to head to our screens in January. Talking anime series, and yokai series Inspector is receiving a 2nd season, though there's no word on when it's set to premiere yet. The supernatural romance series first aired in January this year and was one of the first Crunchyroll originals to be released. TV Tokyo has also announced long-running yokai horror anime Yamishibai Japanese Ghost Stories is receiving a 8th season, with it heading to Japanese screens in January. The franchise's unique storybook style shares Japan's urban legends and a variety of horror-inspired tales and has been running since 2013. This season's Warlords of Sigdrifa has delayed its 9th episode this weekend, instead airing a recap episode. The 9th episode of the series has now been rescheduled to air on December 5th, but there's no official statement on why the delay occurred. And smartphone game-based anime series King's Raid has announced its Blu-ray release has been cancelled due to various circumstances. This possibly may be due to the lukewarm reception it's had from fans of the game. On the streaming platforms, Funimation has added a slew of Gundam series to its North America, UK and Ireland services, with the original Mobile Suit Gundam, Gundam Unicorn, Gundam Seed and Seed Destiny now on the platform. Funimation also noted that they were in talks to acquire licenses for more of the franchise for their platform and will reveal more series that will be added in the near future. More of the new Pokemon Journeys anime is headed to Netflix next month, with the series' third set of episodes due to land on December 4th. And this season's shonen supernatural series, Jujutsu Kaisen, is headed to the HBO Max catalogue on December 4th, showcasing the series' English dub. Heading to the bookshelves, and chilled-out fishing manga, Diary of Our Days at the Breakwater, is heading on hiatus again in December, having previously been delayed due to flooding in Kyushu back in June. Sengoku Basara fans will be excited to hear the franchise is receiving a new manga series starting from December 1st, and Itachi's long-running manga adaptation of Hagane, I Don't Have Many Friends, has come to an end in this month's issue of Katakawa's Comic Alive magazine, ending the manga's decade-long run. And that's your anime news for the week ending November 29th, 2020.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
I think I watched that as a kid.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Back catalogue.
Oh, that energy. Bringing it up.
It's just a good song.
Oh, that's a serious contender for the winner of that season's OP. It's
hands
just
down.
I don't
mind-blowingly
think
good.
there's many other things that can like it just slaps so hard.
Oh, especially. So what was that? That was the winter season.
Forgot a high
Yes.
school. I think so.
Winter, summer.
Our winter.
Our winter. So summer season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was because a lot got moved from that season. A lot got pushed back. But anyway, back on topic.
That's for next episode.
That is for next episode.
Little sample for you out there.
Little sample. A little tasty taste.
Stop.
It is time to
Is this where we insert mouth noises?
No.
No, it is not.
Okay. No, this is not an ASMR podcast.
After School Dice Club is where we're going to be starting. That's AKA Hokago Saikoro Kurabu. Now,
Kurabu.
if you are not aware of After School Dice Club, that's fair. It kind of flew under the radar a
was
bit.
Yeah.
I can see
it was
that.
about this time last year. So October 2019, this anime came out. It was by Liden Films, ran for 12 episodes, and it's actually like the manga itself is really old. Like,
Really?
This has been running since, really old, relatively speaking, for a weekly manga. It's been running since 2013, has 17
that's old.
volumes.
And it's still going.
It's still going.
Huh.
Wow.
And just like Dagashi Kashi, every week, every chapter features a game. It's just like Dagashi Kashi features a candy every episode.
Okay, but that's a lot of board games.
That's a lot of board games.
That's
No
like,
time to get bored.
I know. Okay, nice. Like I know that there. I mean,
Things-
as a person
things
who
could get a bit
owns a lot of
dicey,
board games. Okay, stop. Okay, from now on it's just me and you guys are banned.
Oh no, whose microphone's getting turned down?
Oh no,
It's
it's my
fine.
microphone.
So
But yeah,
look,
like there's like a lot of board games.
There
I
is.
own a lot of board games, but once a week. How many weeks is that since 2013? Someone do some maths. I'll do maths.
It's 52 weeks a year.
I think
So 52 times 7. Mm-hmm. We're looking at...
we're looking at 350.
364.
Yep.
So that's almost one a day
It's one a day.
That's one
for
for
an
every day of the
entire
week.
year.
Yep, and that's fine. Because you can go to the
Wow.
old ones. They can be dice games. They can be card games. But anyway,
That's amazing.
After School Dice Club is a manga which focuses essentially on a group of girls who do cute things. It's cute girls doing cute things. But in
Classic
this case,
club.
it is playing card games and board games in a board game cafe in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for a bit of context here, board games are not huge in Japan. They're not to the extent they've kind of re-exploded in Western culture. They're up and coming, but they're not massive. And this in part kind of was a little bit of a push to help it, I guess, in a way. So this features 3 girls. There's Miki Takekasa, and she's an introverted high schooler who does not socialize with her classmates, and she wants to know kind of what fun really is, having friends. She never thought she'd be in a situation in high school where she could, go out and do things with friends.
where she could experience that.
Yeah, exactly, because she had a difficult upbringing. So one day after school, she crosses paths with her classmate Aya Takayashiki.
Takayashiki. Okay.
Yeah, Takayashiki.
Aya was fine.
Aya's fine. She takes her on a little adventure, and Miki discovers the wonders she's never seen before, opening a way to change her withdrawn life through board games.
Dun dun.
On motorcycles, no.
No.
So they end up bumping into the class rep, Midori Ono, and she's...
Oh, no.
Oh, no. And now she's entering a store that specializes in board games. Turns out she actually works there, and she invites them in. And they end up playing a board game, which is, very cute, very wholesome, and, it's also educational. It's
Yes.
Japan doing us an educate, as we
Once
mentioned
again,
last episode.
it teaches you how to play the games. It's so good. They go through the rules. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Teaching you how to play games?
I know, it's huge.
What kind of anime does that?
Definitely not Yu-Gi-Oh!
Not yours, okay?
Not
Mine
yours.
does.
So you've got 4 main characters, but only 3 of them are really introduced in the first half of the anime, and I think it takes about 50 chapters of the manga before Amelia is introduced, and she's a German exchange student.
Yeah, in inverted commas main, but
yeah,
I guess it probably makes more sense in the manga.
She's basically the equivalent of Mugi in K-On! Like, she's the international student who's got a multicultural background and is then connected with them. So this is an incredibly in-depth game.
Yeah,
show.
surprisingly.
Yeah.
Like, I was not expecting... Pretty much, look, I've said this before, cute girls doing cute things is not really my vibe of anime shows. I've seen them before. I've done it. So many animes that have that I'm just kind of over them.
Yeah.
So when I saw this, I was like, I mean, I'll give it a try. But because of how in-depth they go with the board game descriptions and how going through the rules and playing it together, it's actually really interesting.
And not only that, it dips its toes into how board game industry works.
Yeah.
So like it goes into talking about board game authors, the rights involved in the games, and even the politics around getting creators' names on games.
Yeah, super cool.
Like Alex Randolph, who I'd heard the name before. I didn't realize that this guy was this German dude who was involved in actually, this massive push to get author recognition on board games.
Yeah, it's super really interesting. And something I also noticed even just from the first episode when they walk into the board game store, a lot of the board games actually still are in German. And I was like, that's interesting because...
And not only that, every single board game in that room is a real board game.
They are all... So you can look at it and it's actually kind of odd because you've got very cute kawaii character designs for the girls and then like the serious board games like the Witcher board game right there and you're like, okay, there's Ticket to Ride and you can see everything and it's really cool kind of recognizing all of the board games that you've seen before.
I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, I loved seeing those several games I've played with mates on the shelves, like Werewolf or Ticket to Ride or Catan or whatever it might be.
It's really cool. Sorry, I just want to finish the thing on the German names. And I was like, well, because a lot of board games come from Germany.
Yeah.
That's where the biggest game convention is in the world, for example. And that's a big thing that is German export. But I was like, of course, they would go straight to Japan as opposed to going into English and then to Japan. So they've got all the German versions, which I thought was kind of a cool tidbit. Maybe that's just me.
I think they just changed, I think in that case, it's most board games are pretty self-explanatory. Like, you don't have to... I mean, there are obviously exceptions to this case. Like, if you have a look at some of the exquisite ones on Kickstarter, like the Hellboy Kickstarter that I did for the board game there, a lot of that required retranslation into different languages so it could be played. But most traditional German board games don't. You can just translate the initial literature. You don't have to translate all the pieces.
Of it.
And they don't have like cards with a lot of words on them. Like, it is just kind of a basic board game style.
But look, there's a lot of games featured in this, and I'm just going to list off a few which I recognize just from the list. So Marrakesh, Catan, Celtus, Codenames.
Codenames is so good.
Pandemic as well. I mean,
Pandemic.
kind of fitting for this year, isn't it?
Yep.
Yikes.
Catan, Ink and Gold, Elfenland. I think, Aaron, you mentioned you
That
were really
really
keen to
caught my
play.
eye.
Yeah.
But like part of the charm of it is I feel like after watching it, you know enough about the game to play it yourself.
Oh,
know.
absolutely. It's like
Yeah.
it's like an instructional video
Yeah.
on YouTube almost. You actually are completely introduced to the game.
Yeah. Now, this is... I don't know if this would qualify as a spoiler, so I'm not going to involve too much on it. But let's just say someone in this series is designing a board game. And I desperately want to play that board game.
Yeah.
It's a game called One Room, and it's about filling a room with all of your favorite objects, and it just looks so fun.
Yeah, I'm like,
It
can I
does.
Kickstart this? Like,
Yeah.
how do I get this from
Can we
there?
get in contact with the author?
Yeah, like let's do this.
Come on,
Let's
you
make
got
it
good
happen.
ideas. You're not just a mangaka.
Well, maybe the whole thing is that they were making the manga and the anime to get enough money for their board game.
Oh,
it's
clever.
entirely possible. But look, this is a series which I kind of sat on it.
Yeah, I
And
wasn't too keen for
I was
it.
really interested in it at the time, but it just kind of, we never ended up getting it. And if you listen back to our episode from about this time last year, you'll hear us going, oh yeah, we didn't actually end up watching that, did we? I know Kenny watched a lot of it, and because Kenny loves his board games, and he really got stuck into it. He really enjoyed it, and that's why he was like, we need to talk about this one in the
Absolutely.
episode. But yeah, I can highly recommend watching it. You can check it out on most Funimation services at the moment, I believe
Yeah,
it's across.
absolutely.
And
It's on Anime Lab.
it's 12 episodes, lit in film, so nice and shiny. And, they jump from that fun, crazy sort of like moe style animation into like the serious animation of the characters back and forth. It's like, they're going, all excited about something, so they'll go to the silly animation style and then back to the normal.
The chibi kind of animation. Yeah. It's pretty cute. One thing I would say that I didn't like was, the character's a bit of a crybaby, Miki, but she has character development, so that does kind of go away for a bit. But one thing I did also clock, and, I did have a little Google because I was like, I am feeling the goggles on Yuri vibes. And yes, this was definitely seen by a lot of Yuri fans, and it is under a lot of Yuri fan pages as, one to kind of like wink.
To have a wink at,
a little wink. So I thought that was kind of cute.
This is actually, on that note, there is something a bit unusual about this because we're used to, if you have a look at a lot of cute girls doing cute thing club series, there's not a lot of guys in them. And this
normally nothing.
There's normally none.
Yeah.
Like K-On! Prime example. I think a brother shows up in like the last episode of season 2, and that's it. And this, they don't occlude themselves from that world. So, the guys are coming to their little pop-up cafe.
They'll come play a board game, and then the manager of the board game cafe, like he plays with them as well. He's really cool. Yeah, no, it is refreshing.
It's really quite well done, and I'm quite pleased with that. Also, I didn't notice any fan service either, which I was quite pleased with. Even when they went to the hot springs for an episode, there wasn't any notable fan service.
Gotta have a hot springs of each episode.
Hey, take a guess what episode number it was.
69?
4?
6.
Damn it.
It's always episode 6 is the fan service. It's the halfway point.
Always episode 6.
But
it was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I can highly recommend it. Aaron, I remember when you finished watching it and you just said, I just want to protect them so much. They're so wonderful.
Die for those girls. They are just wholesome little beings.
Wholesome ass.
I like Aya a lot. She's very much like, she wants to support her friends. She wants to make them happy. She wants to have a good time. And yeah, I like her.
I mean, we discussed this earlier, but I really like Midori. I thought she was a very cool character. It was good to see someone who was really invested in creating something and actually showcasing that in there as well, and showing like, the internal struggles you have of, do I want to show my friends something, or do I want to share this with someone else, or I might have just given a plot point away there, but
still, but like do I want to open up this part of myself to people?
Yeah.
And that's a hard struggle, particularly as a high schooler, it's something you're going through. But yeah, Midori, very, very good. I like her character.
Anyway, we've talked about an anime which is all about all board games and card games and dice games, and pretty much, you could put a bop it in this category, to be honest, and it would work. But let's move on to something a bit more focused and a bit more traditional.
Are we going to twist it?
Hit it.
Bop it.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
I think I watched that as a kid.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Back catalogue.
Okay, so, Loz, this is your baby. This was a beautiful and damn the feels.
This is a beautiful series, and like Bakugan, sorry, another kind of card game thing, I guess. Anyway, like Bakuman from last episode, this is another one that is very special to me. It still does you and educate, which we do love, but Chihayafuru, which is what I'll be talking about now, is one of my favorite series. So the fact that we're talking about this makes me very happy. So I jumped at any chance to talk about this show. And you guys haven't watched much, which makes me sad, but you've seen a little bit, and that's...
We got there.
We dipped our toes.
We dipped our toes, and we quite liked it. Now, before we do jump in the big end on this is Chihayafuru. It originally was a manga, which started back in 2007 and is still going now.
It is still going. Currently 45 volumes. Yeah. That's nuts.
That's crazy. That's 240 something chapters.
Hashtag
ballpark.
Maths.
Yeah.
Quick maths.
I did quick math. It's also an anime, and this is particularly the section we'll be talking about. It was being animated by Madhouse, so shiny.
It looks so nice.
Aired in 2011. Third season just finished. So this is if you're looking for something to just sink your teeth into.
It's about 75 episodes plus some OVAs. And then there's some live action. There's 3 live action movies as well.
It's had a lot of adaptation.
Yeah, and there is a reason for it. The manga itself has won a Manga Taisho Award, so we know that the manga is good in the 35th Kodansha Manga Awards in the shoujo manga category. So it has definitely got some recognition there. It's been on multiple kind of best-selling lists when the manga was airing in Japan, so it definitely did very well. So when we look at the plot, Okay, so Chihaya Isa is a girl who spent most of her life simply just supporting her sister's modeling career. So her sister is a few years older than her and she's very pretty. But that changes when she meets a boy named Arata Wataya, who is a talented karuta player.
I was so ready to say when the Fire Nation attacks.
Okay. All right. You done? You done?
No, I might have to flip it.
Okay. Bop it.
Yeah. Deal me out. I think I'm done.
Yeah. Nat one on that joke. Anyway, after becoming friends with Arata, he believes that Chihaya actually has the potential to become a great karuta player as well. And I'll talk about karuta in a second. So Chihaya takes on her new dream of becoming the Japan's best female karuta player, which is also known as the Queen of Karuta. So I've been watching Queen's Gambit as well, Netflix show, and I'm like, this is just very kind of similar mood, but less psychological aspects. PG
Many
rated.
queens.
Indeed. Anyway, so there is the first 3 episodes of the series goes through them meeting for the first time, and also Chihaya's best friend / the boy who's hopelessly in love with her, Taichi. So you have Chihaya, who's the main girl, Taichi, who's her best friend, and Arata, who's the new one of the 3, who teaches them karuta. It's them in the last year of 6th grade, so elementary school, and then they all go to different middle schools. So they now meet back again in high school. We love a time skip.
So they split the party.
They split the party,
Never
go their
split the
separate
party.
ways, and you meet Chihaya as she has grown up to be a beautiful girl, and everyone's always talking about how she's so stunning, but she's kind of weird because she's a giant nerd. She likes karuta. She doesn't like boys. She doesn't want to do girly things. I love her a lot.
I wouldn't say she doesn't like boys. It's just that her focus is she's got that
dead on.
laser focus on playing her card game.
On that, Taichi is so clearly in love with her, and later on in the series, Arata absolutely is too. And this is a very, very good love triangle romance, but it takes Chihaya a long time to just look. She's a little airheaded, but she is focused on karuta, which is why they form a karuta club at their school as they strive to be the best karuta players in Japan, and also to reunite them with Arata again, so who has gone off in his own little way. It is a beautiful story about finding things that you're passionate and fall in love with things, and whether that is falling in love with someone else or being passionate for someone, or finding like the purpose in life and finding something you're passionate about.
42.
You're in love with 42?
No, 42 is the meaning of life.
Okay, I was going to say I love lamp.
Yes.
But anyway. But yeah, so like sometimes you lose your meaning of life, you lose your 42, and this show, it really focuses on like it's okay to lose that, and it's okay to find your passion again. You can reunite that. It's really
it does
beautiful.
have that really positive reinforcing story that life is a journey, not a destination.
Absolutely.
And that I think is something that, it took me a long time to get my head around when growing up, that, you think, I'm going to be this title. So like, I'm going to be a scientist, or I'm going to be a journalist, or I'm going to be an author. But what happens when you get there? And it's the journey, which is the more important part.
And also, you fall flat in your face. You're like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't become an astronaut because of X, Y, Z. And it's like...
in my case, because I did want to be an astronaut as a kid.
Okay. And what stopped you?
30% inward turn on knees and too tall.
Well...
Also not good at math. No, I kid.
Well, we can find a
math.
way. We can find a way to get you... Okay, maybe not.
No,
that
we
was a
can't.
bad
That's a
example.
bad example.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's about, like, having that passion for something. And the mangaka, just on what you said about journey, this is what the mangaka said about why they wanted to make this manga in particular. So they were in a karuta club themselves.
Oh, okay.
And they were saying that the high school period of your life is basically the part of your life where you can dedicate the most genuine part of yourself to something. And I think that's really beautiful. So you can kind of dedicate yourself to finding your passions. And so that's kind of a theme through the whole show.
Now, let's talk about what karuta actually is.
Karuta, is that like Boruto's son?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm very good at pronunciation.
Well, the reason why you might
Karuta.
find karuta as a bit of an odd word is it's actually Portuguese.
Yes.
Huh.
It comes from the Portuguese name for card, which is like Cata, basically, and from the 16th century. So this is a very interesting backstory to what karuta actually is as a game and as a sport. So when there was Japanese traders in Portugal, they learnt this card memory game from the Portuguese and then took it back to Japan. Now, karuta is basically like a memorization game where you have all of the cards in front of you and you can see there's lots of different things on the card that you have to figure out where they are. And then when someone says you need to get this card, you need to take that card from the other player or from the board.
Now, this is based on something called the Japanese anthology of 100 poets.
Yeah, so there's lots of different types of karata. So what I want to mention with that, so imagine you've all got ones with different Pokemon on them. And someone says, okay, find the Charizard card. And you have to, the first person to get the Charizard card takes that card. And once all the cards are gone, it's the person with the most card wins. Now, the reason I say that is because there is a version of karata that had all these like yokai and traditional mythological Japanese monsters on them, which is what Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon trading cards are based on, because those cards were released by Nintendo in 1890.
Oh, I think you were telling me about this, Aaron, as well. So what's it called? It's
Hanafuda.
So it's like a version that has branched out. So
that was a kind of a karata thing as well. So yeah, that can be used also for karata. So we're going way back. The OG origins of Yu-Gi-Oh!
This is
karata.
This is a shadow game.
Oh my goodness.
The ancient Egyptians.
I never would have thought the ancient Egyptians would have a reason. You know what this means, Aaron?
It's time to
Not really.
Not yet.
Wait, so when did the Egyptians invade Portugal?
Well, they didn't.
No, they did not.
But you mentioned something very important. That's the 100 poems. So the most popular form, or most modern form of karata, and the karata that's featured in Chihayafuru is the ones that are called Hyakuin issue, which is 100 poems by 100 poets. So on each of the cards, there is the opening stanza or opening lines to one of the 100 poems. Now, these poems are from the 1100s. In Japan. And that's when they were collated by Fujiwara. So this guy Fujiwara collated these 100 poems from 100 different poets, but the poems might be even older than that. So he's 1,000 years old. So that's kind of dope.
Damn.
So they have all of these beautiful poems that are on these cards, and a part of Chihayafuru is also learning about the backstory for all the poems on the cards, which is also really cool. And there's some beautiful animation there, like describing the love stories or whatever that is from that poem. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
But it also focuses, again, very much on the card game itself, which can be very intense. And when they're playing karata, when they're flinging the cards around because they're trying to grab the card of someone else, they absolutely slap them out of the way.
Yeah.
And if you can go on YouTube and actually watch people
There
playing
will be
karata,
blood.
and they are so intense. Like, people get real quick and just slam them on the ground. It's nuts.
And it's kind of interesting as well, because you see there is a technique.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like, when we were playing Pokemon in, the card games. Yeah. There's, there is form to your table flip. When we were playing Pokemon in high school, Pokemon cards, or you might have been playing Magic the Gathering or anything else, these sort of card games have that set, there's not that much movement in it. Karata.
Yes.
It's entirely reflex based. Like, you've just got to...
Well, and memorization, because you have to memorize, because you shuffle the cards and then you put out cards in front of you, and you have to memorize where you've put those 25 cards, and then the other person's got theirs. So then okay, you're listening, someone reads out a poem, and that read out the start of the poem. So they'll read out
the first stanza
the first line of the card, and the moment you hear the first part, you're like, okay, they're saying as red as the Tatsuya River, which is a very important card in Chihayafuru, because it literally starts with the word impassionate gods, which is Chihaya is what it starts with. So that's where Chihayafuru comes from.
All circles together.
It all comes back. It all comes back to that. So whenever Chihaya hears the start of Chi, the first syllable, she always knows that's my card. I will immediately go for that card, because she always knows where it is. And so you have to be like, okay, moment I hear this word, the, in, world, I'm like, this is the card I need to take. It's so interesting. I cannot think of any game.
It requires a lot of
it's
physical and mental reflexes.
It's wild. I can't think of anything that's this kind of strategy, memorization, and physicality. Can't think of anything that's similar to. It's very unique.
And this is going back to the anime side of things, it's beautifully animated.
It's so stunning. Madhouse did a great job.
Very smooth. It's very slick, and it really gives you a feel as if you're almost in the room when these little tournaments are taking place. Yeah. And you can kind of tell the amount of energy and the intenseness.
Oh, absolutely.
You can feel the impact and the speed of it all, just like whoosh.
Yeah, when they're absolutely flinging them around. Yeah, it's very cool. And the characters are amazing. The main three characters are amazing. The plot's amazing. I love the music. The animation's phenomenal. Even if you don't care about the karata aspect, you can still watch this for its beautiful drama and romance plot.
Now, have you watched all 3 seasons now?
I have not finished season 3 because I have this thing where if I finish something and then I don't have any more of it, I'm sad. So I've just got like a little bit left of season 3 that I just haven't finished yet because I know.
Because season 3 was like 6 years after season 2 or something like
and
that.
Then and that's not
like,
the end because as we're saying, manga's still
there's
going.
47 volumes. Like,
no, I need to just go and watch it, but I'll be sad when I have got none to watch.
Left.
Yeah.
You can always go back to the beginning.
Well, that's what I've been doing, and I've been having a really good time rewatching it.
So look, this where is it available online at the moment?
It's on Crunchy.
I was going to say it's Crunchyroll, isn't it? Yeah. So check it out on Crunchyroll. It's called Chihayafuru.
Chihayafuru. Yes.
So that's Chihayaya Furu. If you can't get that still, go check in the notes of this episode. It will be in there as well.
But yes, if you like some other things I've mentioned before, so Natsume's Book of Friends, like Bakuman, stuff like that, if you're kind of floating in my space of things that I like, this is one of my favorite animes of all time. So try it out.
All right. Well, it is almost time to go to one of the big granddaddies, because even though Chihayafuru is talking about an older game, this one has heritage.
This one's the one that defined card game anime,
especially for Western audiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go get in.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
I think I watched that as a kid.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Back catalogue.
Y'all know what time it is?
It's time to
Yes, it is time to talk Yu-Gi-Oh!
and it's your resident card game boy.
Yes. So let's. I think we need to set some ground rules here because
Set our field card.
No.
Lay some traps down.
No.
I've never played this game.
Good start. Good opening move.
It's a trap card. So we are talking not all of Yu-Gi-Oh.
No.
And we're not talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero either,
abridged.
but we will be touching on Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero, I believe, in part.
We'll touch a little bit on everything,
We'll
but we won't
sprinkle
go
around.
too in depth in it. We're going to focus.
So we're going to talk about the OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters show that we got here in the West, and we saw it on Cheese TV. We saw it on. It was everywhere.
It was everywhere, and we're talking about the one starring Yugi Moto, the king of games.
The king
the
of
man
games.
with the hair higher than God.
Literally.
And with the stature lower than a desk.
Yeah.
And there was
Very
two of them,
kidnappable.
and they wore
boy.
leather, and there was some chains.
And chokers, and
It's
a lot of cake.
So 2000s.
Very spiky hair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about the legend of the Millennial Puzzles first, and then we'll get on to the aspects of the game.
Wait, do you mean the Millennium items or just the Millennium Puzzle
Oh my
itself?
god.
Both.
Okay.
Un Paco Estos.
Okay.
That
Because
was not Spanish.
It's not.
it was very close, and I give you points for that.
No, I'm not very good at saying it, but I do have a button I can do, which is good.
Both is
Both
Both
is good.
Both is good.
¿Por qué no los dos?
That's the one.
That's the one.
Look,
En
I have
español,
been
por favor.
trying to say that Ole El Paso ad for a decade, and I still can't do it.
We should get that as a sting.
Yeah.
A little girl saying,
en libertad de los prisioneros y ahora vengo por ti.
Ah,
oh
bene.
my god. Do you say bene?
Yes, it's Italian. I'm good with Italian. I'm good with French. I'm even good with a little bit of Maltese and Arabic, but I just cannot get my head around like proper Portuguese.
Portuguese?
But we were talking about Karatero,
Spanish.
Portugal. We are now in Spanish land for some reason
Look,
with you. Look, we're going to cut
It's
you
been
off.
a long week. I'm going to mute myself. Aaron, please take over and inform us on Yu-Gi-Oh! And its various forms.
Okay. So I'm going to start off with the classic Yu-Gi-Oh! That you all probably know with Yugi Moto. And Season 1, everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. It's Duelist Kingdom.
The power of friendship.
Yes, basically. Yugi's grandpa gets his soul kidnapped, and so he has to enter this tournament and battle against Pegasus, who's this big scary bad
Hi,
guy.
boy.
Yes.
Maximilian Pegasus!
And Yugi finds out that he also has a Millennium item, like Yugi does. Yugi has his Millennium Puzzle, which houses the spirit of the Pharaoh. Pegasus, however, has the Millennium Eye. Now, the Millennium Eye has a special ability that allows him to see into whoever's mind he gazes upon.
That sounds better than getting like a hot other self of you.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's kind of, but Yugi manages to use his Millennium Puzzle and win and get his grandpa's soul
Well,
back.
so essentially, using the Millennium Eye is cheating because you can see what the other person is seeing in their mind.
Yeah, but they
And
don't
that
actually
doesn't-
play the card game properly in this, so
No.
it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
no, Duelist Kingdom, no rules. None.
There's no rules.
How did you summon a whole load of monsters in a single turn? I don't know.
Yeah, basically. Duelist Kingdom, there were no rules. It was just summon what you want when you want. Go nuts. And there were a lot of made-up things, like in the game against the clown dude, where he summoned the castle and half his field went black and he couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, I have a question. Not about the clown. I don't want to know.
Fog of War.
No. Wait, so did the card game come first, or did the anime come, or the manga come first?
The anime about the card game probably came out at the same time.
me Google it.
So this is a very Pokemon-esque sort of situation. So there was Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, which was the precursor to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game.
Okay.
Yes.
And then-
Season 0 was very dark and basically about gambling.
And Kaiba
Yeah.
had green hair. It
Yeah.
was a bad
Yeah.
time for everyone.
The Pharaoh basically played these games against people who wronged him or his friends. And basically,
It's a very different story.
if you lost, you died. That was it.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
you die in the game, you die in real life?
No, it wasn't even a game. It was like one of them was the Pharaoh and this other guy were hanging from a roof, and there was a deck of cards, and you flipped over a card, and whatever number that was how many steps you went up, and the other person went down, and whoever fell off the roof lost.
Oh, that is messed up. And obviously
Wait.
this was before monster cards were introduced. So it was a very different format.
That was at 7 a.m. before school. We were watching this. I do
No.
not.
No, that
No.
was season 0.
I was
It
going to
never
say,
aired.
I do not remember that at all.
So Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, as it was called over here,
Okay.
or as it was called in Japan, Duelist Kingdom,
Yes.
is technically season 1, but there was a prequel season, which is what everyone refers to as season 0, which
Okay.
is not associated with the card game franchise, but did have the similar characters.
Yes.
All right, so they made Zero, then they made a card game, then they made Duel Monsters,
Yep.
and then there was motorcycles eventually.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
It-
Card games
all
on
in growth.
motorcycles. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's character growth, baby.
Well, like as the game went on, it kind of grew and got new rules and new techniques and new methods, and I'll touch on that a little later. But like with the main Yu-Gi-Oh series, with Yu-Gi-Moto and the Duel Monsters card game, it went Duelist Kingdom, then Battle City, then they went into a virtual reality, and then it was the Seal of Orichalcos, which was about Atlanteans for some reason,
That's cool.
and then they time traveled in season 5 to find
Okay.
out the Pharaoh's real name
All right.
to send him back to his own time.
And then that takes
With a
up
card game.
With a card game.
224 episodes.
Yep.
With card games. A children's card game.
Great. Like I adored it. But Battle City was when they started to give the game structure and rules in season 2. And they introduced tribute summoning, which really grounded the game quite well. And then obviously in each iteration after, they've introduced like new summoning methods and new rules. Like GX introduced contact summoning, 5Ds introduced synchro summoning, Zexal introduced Xyz, Arc 5 introduced Pendulum, Vrains is Link.
You're saying a lot of words that.
Yeah. Now,
What's brains?
Okay, so a
What's
lot
a
of people,
brains?
especially for you at home who are tuned in and going, "What on earth are we stepped into right here?" So these are elements introduced into the game or rules introduced into the game. Think of it like revisions of like the rule set for Dungeons and Dragons, or revisions for how they've outlawed certain cards in Magic
Yeah,
the
like
Gathering.
different editions in Dungeons and Dragons make sense.
Yeah, that this is basically them evolving the game from the base version that we saw as kids on TV, which didn't have structure and rules, which they then created a card game off and went, now it does. And this was a similar situation with like Pokemon. The anime came out the same time the game launched to promote the game.
Yeah.
This anime came out at the same time to promote the card game.
Yeah.
And a lot of things have changed.
A lot. Keeping up with it is sometimes a headache. I dropped out of it for a few years and I came back and I went, synchro what?
Yep.
Wait, what's a brains?
Okay, Vrains stands
So-
for Virtual Reality,
Oh my God.
Artificial Intelligence
Oh, I'm done.
Neural Simulator.
I'm done. Is it an
Okay,
isekai?
what does it let
they
you
get,
do?
They get trapped in the
It
video game?
lets you go into a virtual reality and create your own like avatar and go around dueling people in it.
Okay.
And people have like artificial intelligence.
So it's like sort of
So-
online.
Does this
But
ever
not-
get used in the real game?
In the real game, no, you can't go into virtual reality.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
not good enough.
I was like
It's not good
wondering if
enough.
there's like the equivalent of a Pokemon trainer card which says V-Reigns. You put it down and you go, I'm in the virtual world. You can't touch me
it's
now.
like
you pick
when
up your virtual reality headset, you put it on, and then we've got technology. We could make that a thing.
Well, there are virtual reality duels, but it's more like in 5Ds when they introduced motorcycles.
Yep,
in
there's
duels.
motorcycles.
Oh, right.
So it's just the theme for the anime, not
So not necessarily the card game. Okay, so let's talk about the basic rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! For those who have not played it. Now, if I'm understanding correctly, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a deck that you can construct and make yourself. So you can put any monsters you want in it with limits.
Limitations, yes.
I think it's a max of 3 of each creature. So similar principle to what they did with Magic the Gathering, a max of 4 of the same creature sort of thing.
So I can't rock up with 5 blue eyes white dragons and just summon them all at once.
Well,
Exodia. I know some words.
There are different variations of monsters. Like there's Blue Eyes Silver Dragon, I believe, and Shining Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Aha, loopholes.
So you can have like multiples of those.
you can build an entire deck out of Blue Eyes Dragons, or what was the one your mate wanted?
Karibo.
A
Karibo deck.
Which is
Yeah.
the little like tribble looking fluffy thing. I said
Yeah.
tribble, and I don't think anyone's going to know that.
I
Please let me
got
know
it.
if you understand what a tribble is. It'll make me
Any
feel
of those
better.
OG Star Trek fans out there? Like,
Yeah.
Everyone's listening to this and they're like, no, don't get that one. Sorry, Loz.
I feel
we're
like
too young.
Karibo's the mascot, really.
Yes,
Like,
absolutely.
every generation of Yu-Gi-Oh has its own little Karibo.
and a different version of
And
it
a
as that
different
new
version,
gen comes out.
And that's how you can make an entire deck out of Karibos if you're curious.
So look, the game is one person playing another. It's 1v1.
There
correct?
can be 2v2.
Okay, but it's always balanced in even numbers.
Sometimes in
do-
the show they do uneven matches, but I don't recommend doing that in real life.
And because that's literally like you'd have, essentially it's a, I guess a party building game in a way. You're creating a team in front of you to attack the other person's party and their own life points as well.
And
Yes.
when you've kind of killed those monsters that take the damage, then it goes on to you, and then you take damage, and then you go to the Shadow Realm.
There's a lot of card effects, traps, and magic cards that alter that balance a little bit, but that's the basics of it. Basically, you're trying to get the monsters to duel, which is why it's called Duel Monsters.
Wow, classic. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
So you're this great overlord and you're summoning these monsters and they're battling your opponent's monsters, or if they have no monsters and you're extremely lucky, you're just directly battling your opponent.
You're just hitting them in the face with cards. Like you're just getting character cards and just
Yeah,
flicking them at them.
straight into the wall.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're literally walking up to people in the street and going,
It's time to do.
and then you get arrested.
Okay, is it kind of like Pokemon if you meet eyes with another Pokemon like in Battle Master, you're like, it's time.
Well, I would love to see people actually walking around with the jeweler decks.
With the jewel
on.
disc.
Would you like me to?
No, I know you've got a jewel disc set which is signed, don't you?
Yes, I've got one dual disc that I absolutely treasure more than anything, and it's signed by Eric Stewart and Dan
Ooh.
Green.
Now they're the voice actors for the two main
man, no
characters.
limits.
Yes,
in the original.
Yugi, like Yami Yugi and Yugi Moto are both Dan Green.
The little
And
one
then-
and the hot one.
Yep, and then Seto Kaiba is Eric Stewart,
The more hot one.
and you may know
Whoa,
Eric Stewart.
yeah, that's a big
as-
call.
Stand by what I said. Stand by what I said.
Eric Stewart is also James from Pokemon.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh, can I just say that I absolutely
gay one.
adore... No, Jesse and James
Are
have
actually-
a family.
yeah, and a kid.
As in like the voice actors?
No,
No.
the characters.
What?
The characters.
Yeah,
Wait, when?
in the manga.
Yeah, so the anime hasn't caught up to that point yet.
Okay,
but the
so-
manga,
No, the anime's going on with
well,
something
it's
different.
doing, it's doing something.
The anime, the Pokemon anime is kind of like the Fate Stay Night series, and Ash is the same age because every single time it starts a new timeline with a new Pikachu and a new Ash, and that's why it's
In a
always
new
the same.
area.
And that's why he's always the same age and he doesn't age.
No.
I mean,
He's
that'd
some
be
sort of
better for that.
cyborg.
I would say that'd be a better story than the fact that he just sucks the souls out of his female companions.
Yeah.
Which
Oh
is
my
literally the
God.
case at the moment, because the moment he leaves them alone, they all go on to success.
Actually, new Pokemon anime looks very cute.
It
I
does.
did watch the
Yes.
first few like little episodes of
yeah,
it.
and
It's
they're all
actually
on
very,
Netflix now
it's
as
very
well
cute.
in the US.
With-
Sorry to
Yo?
sidebar way
Yeah.
over there. Yeah. Super cute.
Super sidebar. But look, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters ran from 2000 to 2004, was done by Gallop Studios. Now, I don't think they do other things, but the only thing they seem to be known for
Yeah,
is,
never heard of that.
is Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, it's mostly Yu-Gi-Oh. They've done a couple of Kenshin movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, if you've got a golden pony, why drop it?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay, hold up.
Oh.
Original anime TV series 1998.
Yes, and that is season 0.
So that's actually really old comparatively.
Which, if you look at the
Wow.
style for it, you can see it.
Yeah.
Like, the style changes drastically
Solid
between
8,
So it's-
yeah,
it's a
8-9
two-
years later.
And
Wow.
it was only like 14 episodes or 12 episodes.
Yeah, it was really short.
It was really short.
But it was really like, woof.
Yeah, it was pretty
They needed the
confrontational.
9-year cooldown to
No,
give
no.
everyone a break.
2-year cooldown. 2000 to 2004.
Why did I? Okay, well, I heard 7. So let's all just pretend that this conversation didn't happen.
No
and we'll just
conversation.
move on.
Exactly. Now, but this is a valid point. It gives you a good idea. They had 2 years to massage that idea and turn it into a proper game.
Not a good time to use the word massage.
Oh. Why
Just
did
gonna
you have to?
take these cards and reshuffle them to change the
The
rules of the
outcome,
game.
yeah.
And then they did nothing.
They
Mix
did
up the decks.
nothing.
And they did nothing, and the rules make no sense. They don't play the game properly, and that's the anime, guys.
Yep. Look, so I mean, let question time.
Yes.
I'm going to ask
Question
you some
time.
questions, Aaron,
Sure.
and you're going to tell me if they are true rules of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay, can I just quickly say, if you are interested in learning Yu-Gi-Oh, play Duel Links. It's a mobile phone app, also
Ah.
available on tablets, and basically it holds your hand the entire time. It only lets you do things
Aaron, are
you can't
you
do.
getting sponsored by Duel Links? Like, is
I
this
wish.
another Raid
Guys,
Shadow Legends
guys,
moment?
Is this on? Duel Links. Hey guys, love you. Send me some gems,
Please
please.
send me free things. Yeah, thank you.
So that app's probably the best way to use it because it's got tutorials, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And,
And it's like, it scales in difficulty, so the better you do in your duels, the harder your opponents
Oh, that's
become.
smart.
Oh, that's smart.
And
Yeah.
there's even a PvP option, so you can
Oh,
go
so you
and
can
like
play
battle other people.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So, all right, let's go through a couple of things we saw in the show. Can you combine monsters?
Yes, fusion is a big thing.
Okay.
And it's also the link to synchro summoning, Xyz summoning, and a lot of future types of summoning.
Okay.
Does Yugi ever get in trouble for wearing like a choker and leather pants to school?
No.
No.
Awesome.
That implies he goes to school after season 1.
You're right.
Yeah, actually, I never seen. Don't our parents care where we are?
Yeah, no, they start off in school and then they just bugger off.
Yeah, they just
Okay.
don't go to school.
Is it legal to summon 3 dragons in a single turn?
If you use the correct spell cards and you use special summoning correctly, yes.
In
If
that
you have-
situation in the anime?
In the situation in the
With
anime,
3
in
Blue
like,
Eyes White
what,
Dragons?
episode 1 or 2,
Yep.
where he just throws them out, no. But that was Duelist Kingdom, and there were no rules back then.
Okay, is Dark Magician Girl actually a useful card, or is she just there for the eye candy?
Extremely useful. She's got 2,000 base attack and defense, and for every Dark Magician and Magician of Black Chaos in the graveyard, she gets an extra 200 attack. So you can
Wow.
increase it by a maximum of, 1,200?
Was that
Okay.
that was
So-
just a yes, right? Yes,
So
yes was fine.
Is 2,000 a high score for the character?
For Dark Magician Girl, it's a very good, well-balanced score, because she's a 6-star monster, so you have to sacrifice
All right.
one monster to bring her
We're
out.
going to go right back down here. So monsters have levels.
Yes.
And
Oh my
those
God.
levels are the stars at the top.
Yes.
And there's limits on how many you can summon based on other things.
Kind of. You can have as many as you want, but to summon them, you need to meet certain requirements.
Okay, so you
Okay.
can't just be like, and all in on Dark Magicians, please. I'll take all of them.
It's not like poker.
No. To summon a Dark Magician because he is a 7-star monster, you need to tribute 2 monsters.
What's
Okay.
tribute?
Tribute is when you send them to the graveyard.
So,
Oh,
for
sacrifice.
for
Nice.
argument's sake, say I've got 2 monsters. Do they have to their stars equate to the 7?
For traditional summoning, no.
So I put a bunch of Karibos out, and then I get like a super cool dragon later.
Yeah, you can put out just 2 Karibos and summon a Blue Eyes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that doesn't seem right.
But that will take 3 turns, 1 per summon.
All right, okay.
So it
And
is
then someone
balanced.
could take out my Karibos in the meantime.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Okay.
Can I, for real question, and this is going to sound like a bad question that I'm just trying to trip you up,
There
but
are
I
no
do
bad
legitimately
questions.
have no idea what actually is Exodia and how do you summon it. Why are there so many parts of it, and why does someone throw Yugi's card into the ocean?
Exodia the Forbidden One
Okay.
is
Oh no.
the OG game winner. Basically, he's separated into 5 pieces.
So that's 5 cards in the
5
deck.
cards, yep. So you've got left arm, left leg, right arm, right leg, and then the body.
Cool.
And if you manage to have all 5 of them in your hand, you automatically win.
What?
Oh, okay.
You don't
So you
even
don't have to
summon
play
them.
'em.
You don't even have to summon them.
Okay, that's not fair. I just happen to be a rich guy, hello Setakaibo, and I just happen to own all of the Exodia cards because I'm the best and I
There
just
is
win
a
every
limit.
time.
You can only have 1 of each piece in your deck.
Oh, okay. So, and Exodia, I'm assuming, isn't like, Karibo or Blue Eyes White Dragon, where there's multiple versions which are similar. There's
No.
just the OG.
Well, there is a different version of Exodia, which requires you to have all 5 pieces of him in your graveyard.
Oh, okay.
And then you can summon this special Exodia. I forget what it's called, but I wanted one so bad.
Is it like Spirit Exodia because he's been in the graveyard or something like that?
It's something like reincarnated or revived or something.
Okay, and like in the anime, obviously, because it's an anime, they actually like summon them and you actually see them.
Yes.
So like, how does that work? Like in the world of the anime, because they're playing these games in these like arenas, right? And they've almost got like virtual reality. It like makes it look like it's there, like it's like a hologram or something.
Yep.
Okay, because I never really, because I've only seen like flashes of Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid, and then I've watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, which of course is excellent, but you know, it doesn't help me understand Yu-Gi-Oh! At all.
Well,
no, but shout out to Little Karibo.
Yes, we do love
like
Stan.
he brought the hype back.
He absolutely did.
He did. So, in a nutshell, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game is very similar to a lot of Japanese card games around that time, where there are elements for summoning and removing monsters. There are people you're attacking, or there's a limit to how many things you can win to then, defeat the other to win the game. So my big question is it any good?
The card game or the anime?
The card game.
The anime.
Yes
Okay.
and yes.
Answer both.
Yes and yes.
I actually have a bunch of friends that still play to this
Oh, wow.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, nerds.
Hey.
I'm super joking. We're
Shout
all
out to
nerds.
Sonia and Jamie. Just like, hey guys.
As I said, hashtag not all weebs. I still don't know what that means.
Oh, no.
The anime.
Please stop saying it, because I know what it means.
The anime. I feel like I can condense it to one little Karibo quote, if I may.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a broken, exploitable mess of a game, and I'm about to exploit the hell out of it.
TM. Cool. All right. But
Fantastic.
it is fun. Like the characters are
hands
silly
down.
and they look great. And look, I watched some of 5Ds because the boys were hot and they were on motorcycles. And I didn't really understand what was going on, but boy, were they hot and on
The
motorcycles.
stories themselves can be very confusing.
Kyle's laughing at me.
Because in 5Ds, there were like these shadow demons that were possessing them, that were like
was
these
in, like, the
creatures from
future.
another realm.
They all had really cool,
And-
like Final Fantasy VII
yeah,
motorcycles.
it
I'm
was
sorry,
weird.
but I swear we had a rule on no waifus or husbandos.
I said nothing.
You're just going, oh, these boys
hey,
are
hey.
I said
hot
nothing.
and-
You also did it with Dice Club.
Got him.
You both did it with Dice Club, and
Damn
I
it.
didn't. I'm the victor here.
I just said she was a good character. I didn't say I wanted to marry her.
no,
I didn't
but
say
you
I wanted
said
to
she was
marry
really cute.
the boys either. I just appreciated their aesthetics, Kyle. Appreciate their aesthetics.
Did I?
And their fine jackets and hair, and the way that they stared longingly into each other's eyes, and how they rode motorcycles.
Oh, I see where this is coming from.
Indeed,
There were yowie goggles on.
they were.
yeah,
adjusts.
Jack and Yusei.
For real though.
Just
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This
So
man's
look,
got
if
my
you
back.
if you want to check out Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, I believe is it streamable still
on Netflix.
on Netflix?
Yes,
Is
it's-
the OG seasons
You
there?
can also get Yu-Gi-Oh! Through to like the OG, not season 0, but the OG through to Arc V on Crunchyroll in Australia.
Awesome.
You can get Vrains in America.
Yeah. See, this was an issue as well for you because obviously you were trying to catch up on the anime and you were finding the region locking on it's quite bad.
Yeah.
So mileage may vary.
Can you guys just like license us over here in Australia just real quick?
So
Cheers, guys.
I'd highly
Classic
recommend
Australia.
jumping on because.moe. It's a website which is literally a streaming service search engine, and you can put in your region, whether it's, unfortunately, it's only English speaking at the moment, so that's the US, Canada, the UK, and Australia.
And it tells you where to go.
It
It's
tells
so
you where you can
good.
stream it. Which
Kyle,
is,
are they paying you?
no, then
They're
they're
not.
actually a fan-run site.
They're
Oh.
super good.
They're
yeah.
super good. We found them about 18 months ago, and just whenever we needed to find something, wow.
You found them 18 months ago. You didn't tell me.
Wow.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
betrayal.
That's really sad.
Well, if you had to listen to episode 36, you would have known.
You know that off the top of your head?
No,
That's actually
it's,
kind of
it's
impressive.
actually earlier than that.
I was actually impressed for a second.
I think we should add one to the Kenny count because I feel like you deserve to have one added to.
Yeah, one free punch.
Okay, one free punch. Now, if you, as we said, if you want to check it out, or if you do want to get into the games, as Kenny mentioned, there is a Yu-Gi-Oh app.
Yes, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Please
Duel Links.
go play. It's good fun, and you get to see all of your
Free to
favorite
download?
characters. Free to download, but there are in-game purchases.
Yeah, there always will be.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to play Cata. I don't think there's anything here in Western Australia, but it did boost the popularity of Cata itself in Japan by like a lot, which is really cool. But yeah, I feel like you need a very extensive knowledge of kanji to at least read the cards and understand the poems.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of hard.
Which is why you go for Hanafuda.
Yeah.
Very close.
Hanafuda, you've got the pictures instead. So
Yes.
yeah, there you go.
I actually have a card game story I've just remembered.
Oh, do tell.
So when I was a young boy,
So it was a child's kind of card game.
I made a card game
You made a card game.
using the characters from Final Fantasy VII, so the summons. So I was scouring Google, finding cool pictures, and this was in the dawn of the internet because I'm old.
Square Enix, please don't sue us.
No, it's fine.
Using your old dial-up modem.
Yeah, it was actually. It was
Oh,
Dad's
boy.
dial-up modem for work, so I got in trouble for that.
And you downloaded how many megs?
Please do comment if you remember dial-up so we can not feel so old. That would be great.
Yeah, but
For me.
I went and created a load of basically using the format of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon cards and sort of hybridizing them and to make them into little card games to play with my younger brothers.
That's so cute. Have you played the Final Fantasy trading card game?
I didn't even know there was
There
one.
is.
There you go. There's a Final Fantasy trading card game.
Yeah. So this was back in like...
They took your thing. They
They
stole
did.
it
This
from
was
you.
2001 I did this. So, I was a wee kid. Well,
A wee lad.
a wee laddie.
Same brain cell.
Now, but yeah, I think a lot of us did that sort of thing back in the days before we had...
Nope.
No? Okay, I'm alone.
Well, like, if you want some recent card game news, Digimon just dropped their new TCG.
Digital Monsters.
Oh yeah,
Digimon
and
Monsters.
this is the first release of a trading card game for Digimon, isn't it?
No,
Yeah,
there was one
really.
a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought this was the first.
No,
Oh, okay, cool.
Back in like 2003, it was
Okay.
actually featured in one of the Digimon World PS1 games.
Man, that is a
God, I love those
hidden
games
nugget.
so much.
PlayStation 1
So they've redone it and revamped it up and made it all shiny and new. And
for the new series, right?
I'm not sure. I've only seen the two decks and they're in Japanese.
Yeah,
And you've got Tais and Mats. So you've got Garurumon and Greymon.
yeah. Okay,
And they look pretty interesting.
sweet. All right. Well, on that bombshell, let's head on to the end.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
Well, as usual, that is where we're going to leave things for this episode. Thank you so much for joining. Now, this is a bit of important. We're going to be gone for 3 weeks this time, and that's because this is our last normal episode of our broadcast season. We actually have our big end-of-year event.
Big.
With suits and dresses and all the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
I'll wear a suit.
I'll wear a suit.
Hell yeah.
I'll wear a dress.
I'll wear a dress.
That's what
Yes.
I want. Yeah. Excellent. Wonderful.
I'm gonna wear a Knuckles dress.
I will take.
You know where I'm going with this.
Oh my God. I will take pictures. They will be on the Instagram.
Oh no. So the 2020 Kawaii-Fi Anime Awards are in the works, and there's a lot for us to do. It's why we haven't got Farah or Kenny with us today. They are both looking through all of their back catalogs and going, oh no, we haven't watched this yet.
Working hard.
So the big question is, who will receive the coveted golden Kawaii-Fu and be crowned the anime of the year? And who will be given the cabbage of shame?
Oh, I get it. It's like waifu.
Yeah.
It's like kawaii food. Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
clever. I like that.
Classic gag. And most importantly is the Arifureta Award, which
Yeah.
for the worst CG, which we all know is probably going to be Gibiate. But you just in case, it might be something
look,
else.
I'll be honest, Loz. Arifureta could edge it, even though it didn't air this year. It could edge
It
it.
could still win its own award.
Kyle, Meteora.
Oh yeah.
There's been some bad CG this year.
No, it's definitely good. All will be revealed when we finish conducting our voting and we open the plain paper envelopes with the newspaper with a scrap of paper in it. Look, we're not fancy. It is literally a couple of envelopes that I've actually stole from work.
Can we get like a Kawaii-Fi wax seal?
Yeah, okay, that's it. We're changing it. Aaron and I here now. We're doing it fancy. There will be fancy
There is
envelopes.
a standard to be met.
We will have a high standard of envelopes, sir.
See, I kind of want to get the Kawaii-Fi stickers made now.
Okay, we're gonna make stickers.
Yeah, that works too.
Because
Yeah.
we can use the little circle logo over the seal of the
Uh-huh.
envelope.
Yeah.
Look very schmick.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Awesome. I'm excited. So, if you've enjoyed listening to us babble to each other for a long, long time about lots of different card games and want to hear more about us and all of our random thoughts, please hit the subscribe button so you can get alerts when we put up new episodes, especially for the Anime Awards episode coming soon.
And if you'd like to join the Kawaii-Fi community, don't forget to head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for breaking anime news, memes, and videos.
And pictures of the cat.
And pictures of the cat, yeah. Liger TM, he is our podcast cat. You've been listening to Kawaii-Fi Radio. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time,
watch some anime!
Play some card games.
On motorcycles?
Don't. That's actually a risk. We don't want to be responsible for any accidents.
Yeah, don't do that. Be very careful. We'll catch you next time. Bye.